Hi, this is Scott Schubert. Lately there have been a lot of people asking me and asking other members of our community, how is it that you keep on entering and exiting trades right at those points where the market is turning, and it seems like you're entering and exiting them right at the turning points? And how is it that you keep going to the right time frame where you exit a trade on one time frame, and that's the very maximum amount of profit that you can get, and then you get in a trade on a different time frame and exit in it on a different time frame, and that turns out to be everything that's available for that movement of the market? How is it that you know how to do that? And so many people still believe that successful Forex trading is some kind of a trick, and they just want me to show them the trick as if it's some indicator doing something. And I've explained many times over the last several years that successful Forex trading is a process of actually developing a skill, and that's why so many people are just not interested in doing that. And it's amazing how many people say, well, I don't want to actually study a course and practice and develop a skill over time. I just want to know the trick. And of course that's why there are so many scams and gimmicks and Forex trading robots and different things that are available to try to lure people into the belief that some latest gimmick is going to solve your problem, rather than helping people to discover the truth that Forex trading is a legitimate business that requires a legitimate skill that takes time and experience to develop. Nevertheless, we do have a fairly simple step-by-step process that anyone can do, and it really doesn't take very long to learn and understand how to do this. Very interesting how some people have told me that they have gained tremendous insights and are actually applying what they've learned from these free videos to actually make money in the financial markets, while other people complain that I still haven't showed them the trick for free in these videos yet, and somehow they're not seeing the same thing that other people are seeing. So let me show you some things that we're actually looking at right now in our live trading sessions every day, and what it is that we're actually doing. And yes, there is a simple step-by-step process that anyone can do, and no, it's not a trick. Now, you might recall that in a recent video I made, I pointed out that on the euro versus the US dollar, on this weekly time frame chart, we may have reached a turning point in which the market is now actually going up for the long term, and that if it's not doing that, it won't affect our trading decisions that we're making. We could still enter and exit our trades without knowing whether or not that's really going to happen. Now, this movement up right here that you see on this chart could still be a correction in a downtrend, and the downtrend continue, while at the same time this movement down could have been a correction to this movement up, and the uptrend now continuing. Now, if you're not familiar with looking at these patterns and seeing where the market is forming trends and where the market is forming corrections, you can develop that skill very quickly and easily, and it doesn't have anything to do with always being right about some ambiguous, vague Elliott wave count. The thing that causes so much frustration and difficulty for people who look at the markets and begin to learn what's known as Elliott wave. Yes, that causes a lot of confusion and can actually cause people to decrease their winning trades. But when you know how to read the market like a road map, you'll be able to see that every chart is telling you exactly what the current trading strategy is, so that there's one or two things that you can now do to make profit. For example, on the euro, even though I pointed out that the euro might have reached a long-term turning point to the upside, that didn't stop us from going short right near the top where the euro turned to the downside. We made a decision to enter and go short right at a very specific point for very specific reasons. And for other very specific reasons, we chose to stay in that trade all the way down to right around this point right here, where that happened to be where we chose to exit. Now, why is it that we did that? And why is it that we didn't exit? Well, it's not a trick, and you can't just look at one chart and see an indicator or something and know that that's why we made that decision. It requires actually developing a skill and actually looking at multiple time frames. So as it turns out, whether or not the euro has made a long-term turning point to the upside, we still, not knowing whether or not it is, extracted just about near the maximum amount of profit that's possible to get from that move. Now let me show you something that's setting up right now. If you recognize what this pattern looks like, it's a classic pattern on the pound versus the yen, and the same thing is on the euro versus the yen, and this is the daily time frame, and this is a classic uptrend formation. And this uptrend looks like it's just about to come to an end. Now, in our trading system, we are aware that inside of each one of these waves, there's a complete trend on a shorter time frame. Inside of this wave right here, there's a complete trend on the 4-hour time frame. So on this time frame, we're almost to the point where a daily time frame uptrend is ending. Here's that section viewed magnified on the 4-hour time frame, and it also has a complete trend that looks like it's just about to come to an end. In the last section of that trend, that is a trend on a time frame shorter than the 4-hour. Approximately 1/4 takes us to the 1-hour time frame. Here's the trend on the 1-hour time frame, and it also looks like a almost complete trend that's just about to end very soon. And as of right now, at this moment, it hasn't ended yet. So right now, if you know how to recognize the turning point for the end of a trend, if you know that skill, if you have that skill, by the way, that in itself will make you more money than any other skill that you could possibly develop in trading. The ability to exit a trade at the end of a trend. Well, even inside of this trend, there are trends in each one of these sections on the 5 to 15 minute time frame. Right now, once we confirm the end of this 1-hour uptrend, we are looking to go short on the pound yen and the euro yen. And the end of the 1-hour uptrend is likely to be the end of the 4-hour uptrend. And the end of this 4-hour uptrend is very likely to be the end of this daily time frame uptrend. And once that turning point happens, we're looking at a move that could go 38 to 78% of that entire uptrend, and there's a possibility that it could go past 100% of that uptrend if this entire movement really is an ABC correction as it looks like it is on the daily. By the way, it's not necessary that we know this, but I believe that there has been a long-term turning point on the monthly time frame, and that this pattern on the daily could be a distortion that we shouldn't necessarily trust. But that doesn't have any effect on the trade that I'm talking about, because after you enter the trade, then you'll be able to see what's in the process of forming. Now, if you're still sitting there thinking, just show me the trick, I'm sorry, there isn't any trick. This does require that you actually learn how to trade and actually develop a skill over time and practice it. And that's why our trading community is not for people who are looking for gimmicks and scams and falling for every kind of nonsense that comes out on the market for sale every other day as some kind of a new Forex trading system, robot, automated software tool, or whatever. This is for people that actually recognize the truth that Trading requires you to actually learn something and develop a skill. To find out more about how you can quickly and easily develop that skill for yourself and possess that trading skill for a lifetime, just go to forextradingseminar.com.